we've had a fault with our Brabantia touch bin for some time. Basically, you press down and nothing happens, so we have to resort to manual mode. Lift the bin up like so. So we're going to actually have a look at it today. I'm going to take the necessary time to investigate the fault and hopefully conceive and implement a repair. So I've removed the bin lid, and we did give it a bit of a clean the other day, so it's not too disgusting. And we're looking at the way it's put together. Basically, it's an excellent design. I'm sure an accountant would be proud of it. It uses no screws or fixings. It just looks like a plastic melted over into the stainless steel on 1, 2. It looks like 7. There's 7 of these, so I can actually move. Here, there's a couple which aren't bonded, so if I push down here, it moves slightly. So I was thinking about using a hairdryer just to slightly melt the plastic and simultaneously pull the lid away. I do have an old hairdryer reserved for DIY purposes, so we'll make a start. Well, that didn't work as I expected. They're quite resilient to heat, and it does an excellent job of heating up all the stainless steel, which is a good conductor of heat. And I was basically using this door stop to just prise it, and I've just made no progress whatsoever, so there's another couple of options. We can either take a knife to it and scratch them away, or maybe I could go use a larger soldering iron I have and just melt them away, because we could always refit this with a glue gun, back in the original housing. I think that would be a reasonable repair, assuming we can repair the spring. So I've got my large soldering iron warming up, and I was thinking about melting the plastic tabs off with that, and maybe having a go at a little plastic welding just to see if we can refit it that way. So I'm going to do the job off camera. So that made it a nice quick job. I just pulled slightly on it and it's now loose. So we'll proceed to remove it. Perhaps see. We freed it at the bottom end. This bit here appears to slide off. So we're now at the business end. We've removed it from the body, and I think you can see the issue. Just need it to focus. You can see the spring there in the centre of the screen. That appears to have jumped its position to me, so we'll have a think about finding a way to repair this. If we look down the end, it looks like we can just push this pin out and perhaps deconstruct it. Should be a game of two halves. A bit further work. You can actually remove the spring just by pulling it out at this stage. I'm just looking at it and something doesn't quite look right to me. It's as if it's in the broken position, not the position to operate correctly. So I'll have a little think on that one. Meantime, I'll just remove it. So the spring removed. We can now make it a game of two halves. Okay, we're at the stage of reassembly. If you keep this tab there, you can see there's a plastic there. Keep that there, ahead of that, and these two tabs, there's little grooves, make sure they're tucked in there. So we've now got the pin. There is a point on this pin, so it will aid you in reassembly. And you see how I've got it on the table, so we're keeping the lid at 90 degrees in its fully open position. So I'm going to put some force on this pin and with a screwdriver just lever everything true. It takes quite a bit of time and patience. On the adjacent side, that can be pretty complicated, tricky. Just have to keep trying. Maybe give it a little tap. There, we're through. And just even the pin. Equispace it. So we get to the bit where we can see the point of failure. Basically, I suspect there may be something in there which is parted company with the product, maybe a piece of plastic that I'd smashed. It's in the region of 50 millimeters. That. Next bit's up to you how you repair it. I've had a matchstick in there, or I've cut down one of these flooring nails and wrapped it in insulation tape, so we'll attempt to get this under the spring here, which is going to be a little challenging. I did actually manage to get a matchstick under, so I've wrapped it in insulation tape just to hopefully prevent a bit of corrosion, because it could be a damp area. And we're in. So we'll put that on the table and give it a test. You can see we've got full operation. So I've got my rather hefty soldering iron, and I've got some zip ties, and I've got the bin lid inverted, resting on a cushion, and we'll just see if we can actually solder this back. Try and find one you can see. Got to be careful with this because it'll just melt any surrounding plastic. And the plan's basically to melt a zip tie on it. I've seen it illustrated, but never tried it myself. It appears to be working. I do hope you can see that. It's one down. Seems to do a good job of sticking to the iron. Call that 2, and we'll just work his way around. So we've been round all the original fixings, and we'll test the security of it. Good that the lid actually gave way, not the bin. I'm quite happy with that. An alternative would be, I did think about, you know, if you're not comfortable doing this, or you don't have the equipment, bathroom sealant, or perhaps an epoxy resin would hold it. I'd prefer to use an epoxy resin, usually a glue in 2 parts, as they tend to be superior when it comes to keeping moisture and damp out. So now we'll refit it to the bin. And that's one completed repair. I'm getting a good deal of job satisfaction from this. And you can see it opens and closes as originally designed. Many thanks for watching this video, and why not subscribe to learn of more repair possibilities.